Hello everybody, this is Sherry here from Paper Paint and Stitches, and I've got a cute little journal to show you. I just finished it a couple days ago, and this is the first chance I've had to record a flip through of it, so I thought I would share today. I went to an estate sale a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know what happened to the lady that lived there, but she loved Charlie Brown. And they were selling off all of her things. So in one room, everything in there was Charlie Brown. There were toys and books and puzzles and games and all kinds of things. And so I bought several of these little encyclopedias. She didn't have the whole set left. Somebody had bought a few of them, but that's okay. I brought them home and I gutted them, and then I had lots of fun cutting out the bits and pieces, and I've made one journal with them now, and I may make another one. It was fun. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And this picture on the front of the journal didn't actually come from any of the things that I bought at the estate sale. It came off the front of a box of those little gummy fruit snack things that kids like, and so it has something about fruit flavored snacks or something under here, so I just sewed on some ribbon to cover up the banner and added some pom-pom trim and a little banner right here, and the cover is fabric that I ironed on with some whatever that stuff is called, Wonder Under or something. I need to figure out what the name of that is. And then I just tied on stitched on some ribbon to tie it closed. And I used variegated primary color thread through all of it, so it's got a lot of stitching and it's really cute. And the cover is actually a composition notebook, so I took that apart, and then I used some of the paper out of the book to make pages. So each page like this is 2 sheets of the paper from the notebook stitched together to make them stronger so you can write on a little bit better. But I started on the inside here, and this fabric is ironed on too with that stuff, so it shouldn't come apart. And I made a little pocket here out of fabric and ribbon, and then I've got a piece of play money and a piece of paper just folded up and some little to-do notes, and everything in here is all these bright colors and has something to do with the things that Charlie Brown and his friends are talking about or doing in the pictures that I cut out. So this is to the zoo, and I can't remember, I didn't find anything yet that I liked to put in there for the zoo, but I'm still looking. So they're flying a kite, and they were doing some other things and talking about life in the city, and there's another page on over in the back that is the rest of this. But anyway, there's a kite up there, and there's a little piece of fabric sewn into or tied into the hole I put there. And this is chalkboard tape and just scrapbooking paper. There's some more pom-pom trim, and this is a Scrabble scorecard. Then over here there's lots of the little comics. Here's just some folded paper and a tag, and it makes it nice and bright and just fun. I thought it was really, excuse me, my phone was ringing. Just makes it really bright and cheerful, and if you love Charlie Brown and all those little characters, you'll enjoy this book. And there's a page out of one of the books, and it'll flip up with Snoopy and Woodstock on the doghouse, and just some flashcards. And this is one of the pieces that I punched out of the book. Just it fit in my circle punch, so I added those as little ephemera. Here's another piece I cut out, and this is just a little card, and you can journal on that. And then there's some old music out of a children's songbook, and then here's part of one of the pages, and I trimmed around it to make a pocket here. Okay, and then there's Sally. There's a couple of those of Sally. She was always writing things, and there were several places in here where she was, in those books where she was writing things. Here's a journaling card, and it's got some measuring tape, and it's just stitched on, and you can write on that. Page out of the book. There's another card like that, and then here's Sally writing again, and they in the background there's usually somebody with their rolling their eyes about what she was writing. So there's Snoopy. It was his turn, I guess. Here's a page out of a children's school book, old children's school book, and some little notes and papers to write on. Okay. And here's a little tablet that you could add some writing or whatever you want to, a picture or whatever right there. And there's some paper to write on. There's Linus, and just lots of different stuff. Now, in this picture, Snoopy is daydreaming about mermaids, and there happened to be a little picture of him scuba diving, so I put it on a card right there. And then here's a piece. It's talking about it raining fish in Ocean Shores, Washington. That was funny. And then if you got a picture of a mermaid, you could put it on there. And here's a little, I just made up this little sight record about Snoopy seeing a mermaid in his water dish, and then I came across a picture. He's looking at his water dish right here, and it looks like there might be somebody splashing around in it, so that was cute. And then here's just a piece of paper. It's talking about why you get thirsty, and then of course Sally burped. I tried to put things that were pertain to each other on the pages, and this is a picture out of Highlights magazine, and you're supposed to look for groups of 5, so there was a little card with 5 on it right there. And just some more silly things. You're supposed to look for what's silly in this picture. Okay, then this has to do with kinds of transportation. So there's Woodstock in an airplane. And let's see, there's a fabric ruffle right there. Okay, here's a double pocket right here, and here's some more things about travel. This was out of the book about space travel, so she's talking about living on the moon, but she's afraid there'll be school there too. And then this is a book out of a French children's book, and it's about report cards and things like that, and children going to school the first year and making friends and things like that. So it's in French, but it does have something to do with the topic. And then here's just a little belly band with some Monopoly pieces tucked in there. And then here are the lovebirds. It's not too much of a lovebird thing, but you know about that if you know about Charlie Brown. Then here's a comic strip right here that continues on the other side. This is a little card about tooth decay, getting a toothache, and how a dentist fixes a cavity. And then down here there's a picture of Sally and Linus brushing their teeth. And then over here there's just, this is Snoopy's so funny. I love him. It says, "Poor peasant lass, starved for love, she's fallen for my space uniform." You know, they say women love a man in uniform, so there you go. Then I found this page out of a children's book, and it shows them learning about printing a newspaper. And then I found a story in another book that I have about a little boy who gets paper route. So those went together. Not really Charlie Brown, but sorta, kinda. Then we keep going, and here's the other side of this page for the silly things, and there's a snowman in the freezer. There's a lot of silly things on that. And then since it was they were cooking and stuff, it was about food, then here Lucy has her stand open, and she's a nutritionist this time instead of a psychiatrist. And then here's Patty. She's looking in the mirror and thinking about her freckles. So we have cards with the definition of freckle and beautiful, and then a little song about what Sally is wearing, a red dress. So those kind of fit in with beauty. And then get over here, and here's a card. It talks about what tails are for, and then it explains it on the back. And then we're getting close to the end now. There's just a few more pieces where the characters are doing neat things. And these are not two of the normal characters, but they were just walking along doing things. And here's the rest of that page from the songbook. And then here's a comic about some of the space things. And there's just a little bit of paper tucked in here. And then we have a pocket-shaped pocket, and here they're eating. And some of this stuff has to do with food, so I put a guest check in there, and this is about food, and just all went together. And then down at the bottom there's several little pieces where I cut out pictures of Woodstock just doing various things. This is talking about your foot going to sleep and feeling good. And there's Snoopy and Sally. And then here's a page about what people do who live in a city. And then there's just one. This is the last page. And there's Sally, like she's listening to what you're talking about. And there's Charlie Brown just walking along. Looks like he's having a good day in that picture. So I thought that was a good one to end with. And here's just a few more pieces to write on. And you can do a lot of journaling in this book, or use it for whatever you choose. And that's my Charlie Brown journal, Peanuts journal, whichever one you want to call it. I thought it turned out cute, and I just wanted to share it. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye-bye.